Yes, I'm sorry. You know what? We actually are able to stream to two other platforms now because I was able to upgrade. So,
Okay, so we're
yeah.
on your YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, Higher Healing YouTube channel, Facebook, Geraldine's Facebook, my Facebook, and your Higher Healing Facebook. Hello, hello.
Hello,
So
everybody.
we're doing this. It's been an interesting morning, but we're doing this. So we're here to chat about Wisdom Con and who is speaking and what's happening for Wisdom Con. But you know what? I would like to tell people about your Higher Healing because I would like to know more about the Higher Healing platform because you're showcasing. I did a little live on my YouTube channel about an hour and a half ago, saying that you're showcasing healers and teachers everywhere. You're not just an amazing teacher, incredibly creative and intelligent with amazing experiences which blow my mind. You're also out there promoting other healers and teachers, and high healing is another way that you do it. Do you want to have a quick chat about that?
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for asking about that. So, what Higher Healing is, it's a nexus and basically a social platform for everyone that's looking to connect with a healer and also network amongst other healers. And really, how this came about was it's an incredible story in which a group of us were working at a bookstore doing healing sessions and it didn't quite go so well with the bookstore. So, we decided to create our own thing. And this is the product of that unity of creating that. It was born, and it's something that I had been planning for many years ahead of time, and it was just the perfect connection and push to create something like this. So you can book sessions on the platform with healers from all around the world, and for me, what's important now is that we're looking for healers that are very high vibrational, that are really in alignment with bringing expansion, consciousness, healing, body, mind, and soul, because we need different ways of healing. Not everybody needs assistance in the same way, So this is a way for us to connect with people that are unique to their craft. Everything from sound healers, energy healers, DNA activation, meditation, you name it. It's highly vetted healers from around the world that are here to serve. And so that's what it is. It's a collection of light workers that unite, both providing services and also connecting with those that are seekers. We're all looking for answers and support. So that's what it's about.
Fabulous. It's fabulous. I'm loving the initiative. I'm loving the idea. I had a doctor on my show years ago that worked in the medical system, and he just saw how terrible it was. And then he had an energy healing, and he's like, oh my God, he was all about energy healing. And he created the same thing called Energess, but he didn't follow it through. I mean, it's a lot of work that goes into this stuff.
It's tremendous. Yeah.
And now he puts on dance parties online because we're all locked down. So we used to do them live.
That's
but
cool.
I just thought the initiative was beautiful, but he didn't follow it through. Like he had one or two healers, and then it just got too hard. And then I thought, wow, you're doing the same thing. So I was just like, yes, because we need more of that to bring people together to be able to find each other and find healers and teachers. Yeah.
Exactly. I find it so funny that to this point we don't have something like that. There is other platforms that are dedicated to psychologists and therapists, but there isn't really a nexus in which we can go and be like, connect with healers that we know that we can resonate with. And so, I mean, even if you Google right now, if you need a shaman, where do you look for a shaman? You go in the Google and it's very hard to connect with a shaman, to find someone that you can trust and work with. So this is the place for the shaman to come. And, what I find is that a lot of us that are really deep into the work, a lot of times we don't advertise our work. It's just, we just connect with souls organically. But what this really helps other people do is also put your name out, the work that you're doing, and connect with people around the world. We need to create this network, global network. Exactly. So we're connecting with one another, and there's incredible healing modalities that we may not have known about.
Right.
In Japan, in Russia. I mean, there's incredible work being done on the world. So this is hopefully going to be the place for you to come and learn about those things and connect with those healers.
Woohoo! Ooh, yes,
Yeah.
I agree. There are other platforms that showcase healers, but they're
Yeah.
more of a natural sort of holistic healing. Like
Mm.
there's natural therapy pages, and I've got a friend who started another big website, but it's actually more mainstream. It's sort of directed at the mainstream, but we need inside the sort of spiritual and energy healing realms
Yeah.
to have as much organization as they do in the mainstream realm. So I'm
Correct.
loving it. Okay, let's talk
Yeah.
about Wisdom Con. Like, what's
Yay.
going on at Wisdom Con?
Yeah, so Wisdom Con is a conference that we're producing. It's September 24th to the 26th, this coming weekend. And wow, we have been able to put together an incredible schedule for you guys with speakers from around the world, including yours truly, Karen Swain, who will be discussing all about different topics, mind, body, and soul, what we need now. One of the most important things that we are missing is education around all the areas of multidimensionality, healing, where psychological understanding of ourselves at this time with all of this change and transformation that we're going through collectively. So how can we support you during this time in which there's a lot of confusion, a lot of even deception that is within many of these realms? We just want to bring it back to basic, back to what is the wisdom? It's the connectedness with the self, that connection with the self, with the true core divine source of self, in which we have infinite connection to the whole. And so all of these healers that are on this platform, they are truly aware of that, the value of that connection. And even though they speak on different modalities, different platforms, everything from extraterrestrials to energy healing to the food that we're eating, all of these things play a part in our expansion of our life force and the cultivation of our energy, as the embodiment of the higher self. And so that's what this Wisdom Con is about. And we have everything from, and we can go over the speakers in a little bit.
Yeah, the speakers.
Karen, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the speakers. The speakers. I know many of them, but there's quite a few I don't know, and I'm like, ooh, I always love finding new, fascinating people to talk to. But you've got some of my favorites, like Preston. I just love
I
Preston.
love
He's just
Preston too.
he's
Yeah.
amazing, and of course you're amazing, and you've got people like Dan Winter, who's just genius. But
Genius. Yeah.
I have to say that when Dan Winter speaks, I'm kind of scratching my head going, what? Slow down a bit, slow down. And you've also got Alan. Alan's really out there, Alan Steinfeld, who is doing a lot on his Facebook. What's Alan going to be talking about?
He just wrote this really great book called Making Contact, and it is a wonderful overview about ET contact and the complexities of it on different areas of that. But he's going to be presenting on thinking abstractly, a beautiful and actually, if you go on my YouTube channel, I have interviews that I have done with some of the speakers. You'll also see Karen's interview following actually our interview today. But he will be talking about the language of connecting with extraterrestrials and the universe in the perspective that we need to expand the way that we're observing what communication is, that it's multidimensional, that it's not necessarily verbal, that our mind is expanding and beginning to look at concepts in a different way. And so the invitation is, how do we prepare for that? Because in the next couple years, we're going to be going through some major changes, and we need to adapt to that kind of flexibility of the mind. The mind needs to be okay with the unknown as best as possible. So he's talking about that and hosting a workshop on doing some remote viewing exercises, which I'm really looking forward to.
Cool.
In training that. So, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Look, I so agree. One of my tribe has not been online lately, and I just reached out to her yesterday and I said, are you all right? What's happening? And she said to me, I'm not really into the whole ET conversation, which has been the conversation on my show lately. Like everyone on my show lately has had ET experiences, talked about ET. And I thought, isn't it interesting? But I know exactly what you're saying. We need to start to get up to speed with the way extraterrestrials live, just for so many reasons, just to clean up our planet, but also to bring in our intuitive or spiritual or psychic gifts, because the way they communicate telepathically, on sci-fi movies, they never talk about how you got to get into your telepathic
Yeah.
understanding to create, to communicate with. And and that's coming thick and fast, isn't it? It's
It
like,
is. Yes.
yeah, it really is. And people have to get up to speed with it. There'll be many that just won't get it, that just won't get it. And they're probably the older generation, like my generation and older, but they'll leave the planet soon enough, I suspect. But the younger ones are sort of up to speed with it. They're really, cracking on to their intuitive and psychic abilities. I just want to acknowledge everyone that's watching. Hi,
Yeah. Hi,
Fiorella.
everybody. So
Yeah,
great to have you guys here.
yeah, there's quite a few jumping on. So who else have we got? Now, who is Neil Gore? How do you say his name?
Neil Gower. Neil Gower. Yeah,
Gar.
so Neil is actually, he is incredible. This guy is a producer of Portal to Ascension. It is one of the largest, if not the largest, platforms of conferences and spiritual dissemination of information. I mean, he's so great at that. He has events every month, conferences, special workshops with people that are the leaders in this field, in thought, these groundbreaking ideas and concepts of spirituality. And so he's going to be talking about galactic origins, dimensions, and black holes. And he is an incredible researcher. His presentations are always mind-blowing and just really go in depth to the history, ancient history, the origins of ourselves, all of the information that we need to know. And so this conference will also be live streamed on his portal this weekend, which we are so thankful and so excited because he has a really huge and wonderful group of listeners, light workers from around the world.
So Portal to Ascension is a separate platform to YouTube and all the other social. What is it's like what is it, kind of like another,
Yeah.
like a conscious Netflix or something? Is it a
Kind of like that, except it's like a conference style. Like you're basically getting downloads in documentary style presentations, and it's like they have roundtables of all of these healers from around the world that talk about their work and just really mind expanding concepts. I mean, if I could just give you an example of the kind of conference, let me just pull it up here. If you go to portaltoascension.com, he's got advanced remote viewing taught by Alan Steinfeld, who's presenting at our conference. And then he's going to have a mega civilization online conference October 10th. So it's like all of the researchers, the top researchers in ancient civilization, he has them on the platform. So
cool.
It's really, really cool. Yeah, definitely check him out.
Oh, that's exciting. I'm checking it out right now as
Yeah.
you're talking about it. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, he sounds fascinating. I'll have to get him on the show. Now, who else have we got? Now, you've got Andrew, how do you say his name?
Radzewicz, I think. I'm very bad at pronouncing his last name, and he's told me 100 times. But
he's an American, but you say he's living in Australia at the moment.
That's right. That's right. And he is an incredible contactee, a psychic, a medium, and a CE5. He posts every single day the CE5 videos that he pulls up. And he just right there in Australia, he is just looking up in the sky and capturing these incredible videos of crafts in the sky. So he has a really strong connection, with his guides and his work that he does. So he has an amazing story. I mean, he was a firefighter here in New York, and he was even working in 9/11. And I mean, he has these stories about his tapping into the medium gift when he's working in, putting out a fire at a home. I mean, he has these stories where he received messages on going into this building right before it collapses and saving this family just from this intuition that he received, this message. So he's very divinely guided. And so, yeah, it's an honor to have him with us.
Mr. Purple, because he's somebody that turns up and he goes purple, doesn't he? On I've seen a couple of his videos. He changes color while he's on video.
Oh, really?
Anyway. Yeah. He's had some videos where he's quite extraordinary. He's quite extraordinary. Now, who else have we got here? You've got so many. How many speakers have you got? About 40?
No, we have 27 speakers, and some of them are hosting workshops. So we have Jill Stein, who is a prenatal medium, And I've never heard of that before. She speaks to the soul that is incarnating into the body before the child is born.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's just an amazing gift. So you can check her out. She's our resident medium, prenatal medium on higher healing. Rachel Cooley, angel therapy practitioner and mentor. She's connected with angelics. Sonia Barrett, incredible transformational author, speaker, and radio host. And then we have Kathleen Zemansky, who is the founder of Time Blazer, and she does this. She has this Time Blazer. You have to check it out. It's like this calendar with divine timing that tells you when it's the perfect time to make choices in your life, moves. Whether it's launching out a product or whatever it is. She has a website where you can actually put in your date of birth and it'll create a calendar for you. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah. We also have Jeff Granville, beautiful soul, founder of Mindful Presents. And I think you met him, right?
Yeah, because as most people know, many people you might not know, but Geraldine and I were also co-hosts for the Higher Self Expo. So Jeff was one of the speakers at the Higher Self Expo, and I had him on the show, and I just love Jeff. Because I knew nothing about him. He was someone that Tanya, I think, brought into the fold. I think Tanya knew. So who knew him, or did you know him?
No, I didn't bring him in. I don't know who brought him in. It may have been Tanya. Yes, I think it was Tanya.
And I discovered him, and then I introduced him to a few other people, and he's amazing. His story is amazing.
Yes. So we will hear more about him, and Tim and I are actually working on a little project that we will talk about soon. Suzanne,
cool.
Suzanne Ross, who is the author and producer and spiritual guide. She is the owner of Spy TV, and it's basically like a television, like a Netflix, but for spirituality, where she hosts all of these incredible speakers and presenters and documentaries on spirituality and science. So where those two meet.
Wow.
So, and she has an incredibly contact experience as well. She's also a contactee very similar to mine in that she downloaded very interesting information about the activation of DNA and so on.
Ooh,
so
I have to get her on the show. She sounds fascinating.
You would love her. Yes.
This is so cool, Geraldine. I'm meeting so many more fabulous people. So excited.
Yes. And of course, Tanya, Tanya, who is just such a very special soul. I really love her.
Very
special. She just fully integrated and just lives at that level, which is what we need more of. And so she's a coach. And, all of these speakers, you can check out their details, their websites, their links on the website at wisdomcon.com.
Yeah, I posted the link in the chat there for the speakers. So if you want to check out some more of the speakers, because there's heaps of them. Who else don't I know that I can? Of course, the beautiful Zane Daniel will be talking. Who else don't I know? I think beautiful I don't Zane know. Daniel.
Jahan Kamzadeh. He is amazing. I met Jahan many years ago, and he is a facilitator at San Francisco Psychedelic Society. And he is, major researcher on the whole psychedelic concept, but he majored in philosophy and cosmology and consciousness and you name it. This man is quite well-versed in those areas, but he is studying the origin of life from the psychedelic perspective and how psychedelics have been used to connect to the collective, to connect to consciousness, and to channel this incredible, valuable information that transcends the physical. So he's going to be talking about that and bringing light to that aspect. We also have Bobby Vasquez, who's the owner of Biofield Tuning, San Jose, and he's going to be doing a biofield tuning session for us on Saturday evening to close our Saturday, and a lecture on that. He is wonderful, does incredible work with vibrational frequency and kind of like undoing the knots in your energetic field using these tuning forks. So it's powerful work. Another person that I love, I don't know if you know, do you know Roman Light?
Because I introduced you to Roman Light. Oh. There you go.
Of course. I love
Yeah.
Roman so much. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, he is
he's a buddy in
incredible.
Australia. Look, I have to tell you, I had to work hard to get Roman to come onto the Higher Self Expo. So
Really?
I asked him to come, and he wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And then when Nicholas Perrin became a co-host, Nicholas and Roman were friends as well. And so Nicholas sort of did the work that I couldn't do, because Roman was a little bit reclusive at the time. He had sort of had a lot of views that Facebook was shutting down his page. And, the
Mhm.
Australians are big activists in the spiritual community. They're real activists, and Roman's
Yes.
one of those. And, but
Mhm.
he's totally brilliant. And he's like Jane, Jane Mathematics, and he's got that same head and
Yes.
same, yeah, and he knows Jane. And Jane said that he's busy, but he'll do something later in the year.
Oh,
But
I can't wait for that.
I've got to introduce you to Jane. He's amazing.
Oh my
He's one
God.
of these.
Love meeting him.
He's one of these crazy geniuses that when they speak,
Yeah.
you've got to go, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. You understand this stuff, but it kind of goes over my head a bit.
It comes in vibrational and in pictures for me. It's not so much of looking at it. It's very interesting, and I feel that when I speak with Roman, because it comes in a different way. But it's interesting how some of these incredible minds, they tend to hide away, but we need them. We need them so much in the world today, and we need to hear their voice. And the messages that they have are powerful. Check out the video that I did with him, the interview. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Sometimes minds that are really tapped into higher intelligence,
Yeah.
they're still having a human experience, and they don't know how to integrate that intelligence with their human experience. So they're still going through the traumas that we go through as humans, with emotional stuff like, I shouldn't talk about him, but, divorce and upset and worthiness stuff. And you can be highly, highly, highly tapped in, connected,
Yeah.
and still feel unworthy. And so we've got to deal with those human emotions and push them aside, or let them speak to us about the subconscious programming that we've still got running in the hard drive, and then change the program. So
Yes.
so I see that a lot with incredibly brilliant spiritual
Me
teachers
too.
who are
Yeah.
still dealing with the human drama. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, see that a
Yeah,
lot.
that's so important. I think that's something that a lot of us are experiencing as well. In my healing practice, people that I work with daily are telling me, that they have these blockages that come up more now than ever. It feels like it's heightening that contrast. So this is why it's good to have these kinds of conversations to support
Absolutely.
those moments where we come into the dark, and to bring us back into the light, kind of showing us that remember the light and how to get there and how to embody that. So
Yeah.
thank
How
you.
to live that in the human life. Absolutely.
Exactly.
So who else have we got? Who else?
We have Eloise Serfleet. You know her as well. She was at Higher Self Expo as well. She's the founder of Dharma Life Academy.
Right.
Amazing work.
Yeah.
Do you know her?
Well, I don't know her personally, but I did connect with her yesterday, and we had a bit of a chat. She's English, isn't she? But she lives in the States. Is that
Yes.
right?
No, no, she's in the UK.
She is in the UK. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's in the UK.
And,
But yeah, she's English.
and who's this beautiful Trisha Margis? Is that how you
Trisha
say her?
Margis, yeah, she's amazing. Oh, Trisha has been she's just kind of completely flourished over the past couple years into this incredible speaker and advocate for the awareness of ET contact and programs, any kind of heavy programming. So she's going to be talking about social engineering and how we can break away from that, embodying the higher self. So yeah, she's going to be doing some wonderful work on that. She also has a YouTube channel called 90 Degree Turns, where she has some really amazing people that she interviews on there. We also have Joan Rose Staffen, who is an author, an artist, a psychic healer, the writer of many books of pendulum and dowsing. So she is like a dowsing master, and she will be talking to us about pendulum work and dowsing. And yeah, it's going to be a wonderful time with her as well. And we also have Miguel Mendonza, who is the writer. Do you know Miguel?
I don't know. Was he at the Higher Self Expo? I don't think I do.
He wasn't, no, but he's the writer of Meet the Hybrids with Barbara Lamb. Do you know that book?
Yeah. Oh, Miguel,
Yeah.
yes. I friended him today on Facebook. Yeah.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So
Mhm.
he has just written this amazing book on wisdom where he collects all of these pieces from wise aspects from around the world, people that study, and they talk about so many different aspects of how to embody wisdom. So I thought it was so perfect for him. But he does a lot of research on hybrids and all of that new consciousness that's coming into the timeline right now. So definitely check
Wow.
out his websites and his book and his work. He's amazing.
Absolutely. How did you meet all these? How did you find all these incredible people?
It's like a reunion with all of my friends that I love so much.
Uh-huh.
I have a very small circle of friends, but these are all people that I really look up to. I love their work. I love what they're doing here in the world, and I respect and I just, it's valuable. It's important to have these different aspects of life and to speak on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. It's so great. Good evening. Good evening. I'm just looking at the people. We was the Dowser Pendulum Master. Who was the Pendulum Master? Oh, that was.
That's Joan Rose Staffen. And if you go to the website, you can find her information on there. She's
Oh,
the
amazing.
writer of many books on pendulum dowsing, and she creates these incredible charts that you can use for dowsing. They're in the book. Very interesting.
Wow. Well, okay. So it's next weekend. It's an
Yes.
online conference. It starts Friday. Like I suppose it starts our Saturday, your Friday. So in Australia
Mm.
on Saturday, in the US on Friday. Does it go all day on Friday? What time does it start in the
Yes,
US?
nine to 8 p.m. I think is our last thing. So it's all day long,
So, so that's Pacific time, 9
Pacific
a.m.
time. Yes,
to 8 p.m. Pacific
hmm
time. And then the next day,
and then the
same?
next 9 to 7 p.m. and then Sunday 9 to 8 p.m. again.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it is a paid gig, but it's very inexpensive, I have to say.
Well, actually, it is free. It's free, but you can donate $50. It's a $50 charge for the
Oh,
3 days. So you can either do donation of $50. We appreciate it so much. But if not, please register for free, and it will be live streamed on these platforms for you to check out. So please come join us. This is
oh,
about
I
the
didn't realize.
information. Yeah. hmm
$50 is not enough. You need to give people. What if they want to donate $500? Like
You
they
can
might get a
donate
lot out of it.
whatever number you would like to donate,
Yeah,
but the suggested is 50 for the three
you're
days,
right.
and
Right.
also there will be vendors and all of the healers that are there presenting for us have rooms for you to schedule sessions with them. They have their own Zoom rooms. All of the vendor page on the website will be populated with the name and their individual room that you can go and connect with them one on one. You can schedule appointments. You can get psychic readings with them, do pendulum dowsing, your astrological sign, whatever it is that you're doing with them. But you can also just connect with them, ask questions. So that's what I think makes this conference a little different, that we're doing workshops and lectures
Absolutely.
and vendors because we want to connect with you and we want to support you and wherever you are, trying to find answers. So that's kind of what we're there to do. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a much more interactive online expo than just listening to talking heads. And
Exactly.
obviously,
Yes.
are you hosting it on StreamYard? Where are you hosting it? Are you doing it on Zoom?
It's on Zoom. Yes. So if you register through the website, you will be in the Zoom with us where we can get your questions. You will be interacting with us backstage, all of that good stuff. So definitely register on the website to join that. But you will also get the live stream links.
So you can ask questions as people are talking
Exactly.
to, yeah, reiterate. So
We
it's not just like listening to someone do their presentation. It's like, can you just tell me a little bit more about that? I didn't quite understand that or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we really encourage that. I really want that because I want you to come and get what you need from all of these wisdom. When I go to a conference, I always have so many questions, and I'm like, when do I get time to sit down and speak with them? So that's why we have the breakout rooms where you can go and connect with them privately as well, the speakers. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Very exciting. Well, is there anything else you want to tell us about it?
No, that's all. I think we spoke so much. Thank you so much, Karen, for offering to talk about this. It's such a gift, and we're very thankful for that.
Oh, well, I'm very excited about it, and I'm excited to meet the people that I didn't know and have a real in-depth, dig into their life story. Because on my show, on my Accentuate the Positive Media, I really go into people's stories, like
Mm.
who are you and why do you do what you do and what happened and what do you know? So it's not just about their teaching; it's more about, because I believe that when we listen to other people's stories, we hear our own story. If there are so many people waking up and having experiences, and they're like, "Yeah, that happened to me. Oh, I'm not crazy. Oh, wow, that means this." And so I'm really excited to dig into some people's stories that I haven't met before and put them on the show. It'll be exciting.
Yes, I love that. And Karen, do you want to say a little bit something about what you're going to be presenting on?
What did I say to you yesterday? We had a chat about it yesterday. Well, I'm connected to a stream of consciousness I very irreverently called the mob, who is, it's basically just higher wisdom, higher knowledge. It's like the wisdom of Earth and other planets, and it's the stream of consciousness that all spiritual teachers tap into. It doesn't have identity, but they're online like the mob. They're online the whole time. So they speak through me, even though it just looks like me and my personality. They speak through me. So I just let them hold the reins and I show up. But their message really for our time, it is to empower people to how they create their reality. Like life isn't happening to you, you're happening to life. And so how does that happen? So I speak about deliberate creation and how we are the masters of what we create in our world, both in this world and in others. We're creating in every dimension, but in other dimensions that are a faster rate of frequency, as you understand, creation happens more immediately. And so you connect what you think and how you feel to the manifestation or the experience that you have. But in this world, in this buffer of time that we have in this third dimensional experience, we create through the buffer of time, and we don't always put together how you think and focus and feel with what you create as an experience in your world and how you respond to experience. So it's not so much about what we're creating, but how we're responding to what we're experiencing. That is our creation, portal. It's how we create our response to life. So yeah, I'm going to talk about that and let the
Wow.
mob take over. They're always yakking about this stuff. They're talking to me the whole time, and I'm like, yeah. So yeah, and I'm actually really looking forward to taking questions because I just love the questions.
Yes,
Love
yes.
the
What a gift. And so every presentation has the option of doing a 15-minute Q&A. So get in there, come ask your questions. This is why I wanted Karen to be there, because she has such a divine connection and flow of information. This is just the juicy stuff that we want to hear. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you, beautiful
Yeah.
one. I look forward to next weekend. And thanks for everyone that's been tuned in. It's about 40 odd people online now from all the different platforms. Big love to
Beautiful.
everyone.
Much
Thank
love. Thank you so
you.
much, guys.